Whew. What is up, my guys and gals? The gals that watch these videos. It's mostly guys according to the watch statistics, but whatever. Welcome back. I bought a 30-year-old boat and I want to show you guys what to look out for on the hull when you do purchase a 30-year-old boat. So step one, how do I even know that it's a 30-year-old boat? Well, on the back corner of the boat, we got a whole serial number right here. The last two numbers are 95. So this hull is a 1995 hull. So if you do the math, 2025 right now, it is approximately 30 years old. So if you're buying a 30-year-old boat, you want to make sure that the hull is in good condition. If you don't have a good hull, you don't really have a good boat to begin with. So what are the things you need to look out for? Number one, and this is probably the most important thing, if you can afford to do it, get a survey. Get a survey for the boat, okay? Typically a survey in South Florida, I don't know about anywhere else in the country, but in South Florida it's gonna be anywhere between 20 bucks to 35, sometimes more, dollars per foot of length on the boat. That's typically the cost for just the raw survey. You also have to take into account that you need to take the boat out of the water at some marina so that the surveyor can sound the bottom, okay? You might ask, well, if I have the boat on the trailer, why do I need to take it to another marina to lift the boat to sound the bottom? Sometimes on the trailer, the surveyor has a really hard time getting to all the parts of the hull. So if, for example, this boat here, I have 2 sets of bunks. Some trailers have more sets of bunks. The surveyor won't be able to sound the bottom in the areas where the bunks are located. Surveyors might not want to get under the trailer and sound the keel, which is at the very bottom. You might not be able to reach all the areas of the keel. So when you take the boat out of the water and it's on the slings, the surveyor is able to pretty much get to the entirety of the hull. It's a much more complete survey. In order to do that, you have to pay a haul out fee. Haul out fees in South Florida range anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks per linear foot. Add that to the bill. And then when you do the survey, you technically don't own the boat yet. So legally and in terms of liability, you as the buyer cannot be the driver of the boat when that happens. Either the seller needs to agree to do it himself, or you have to pay a captain. A captain for 3-4 hours for a full survey might run you 200, 250, 300 bucks, depends on the captain. So those are all considerations you need to take into place. If you have the money for it, do a survey. That's the best way to make sure that your 30-year-old hull is solid. I didn't do a survey because my goal here is to try to do as much as I can myself and to show you guys what I look out for. And from what you guys can see from what I just explained, surveys are really expensive. So what do I look for in a 30-year-old hull if I'm not getting a survey, right? So the first thing you're looking for is dimples, okay? And I'm gonna try to pull up a picture from the internet and put it here so you guys can see what dimples look like. Typically, you want some sort of sheen or shine on the hull to spot those dimples. Obviously, if the boat's in the water, you got to take the boat out of the water to look for those dimples. Those dimples are normally going to be below the water line, and they're going to be pretty prevalent if the bottom is clean. So if the bottom has any sort of barnacles or growth on it, that needs to be taken off with a power washer, and you have to have a clean sheen of a bottom. The next thing you're looking for on the hull, anywhere on the hull, not just below the water line, is soft spots. There's 2 ways to find soft spots on the hull. Number one is to get a sounding hammer, okay, and it's any sort of rubber mallet. Usually it's the one that's got the yellow and the red tip on the hammer. One's softer and one's harder, and you basically sound the entire bottom. You go tapping, tap, 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 tap on the entire hull, right? All the way from the rub rail down, and then below the water line, you tap the entire hull, and you're trying to sound for soft spots. I'll show you guys what those soft spots sound like. If you're unsure if there are soft spots or not, a safe way is to grab a moisture meter, and you press the moisture meter on the hull in different locations, and you want to try to get as dry of a hull as possible. that moisture meter shoots up, you might have an issue even if you don't visibly see it. There's moisture layered in there. Now, you may be asking yourself, why use the hammer at all and why not just use the moisture meter? The issue is if you use the moisture meter, you're going to find moisture that's in the hull right now. If there was moisture in the hull, and there's no moisture in the hull right now, but that moisture still created separation between the layers of fiberglass and created a soft spot, the moisture meter is not going to pick it up because there's no moisture in there to pick up. But the sounding hammer will pick it up. So let me show you guys what that sounds like. Pop this open to reveal a little bit more of the hull. So what you want to do is you want to basically, you can just use your knuckles if you don't have the hammer. I don't have the hammer, so I'm just going to tap with the knuckles. So you're sounding, you're sounding, you're sounding. And you're going to hear different pitches when you sound. You're not hearing for different pitches, you're hearing for soft spots. So different pitches typically happen because at the length of this boat, typically you're going to have bulkheads, and those bulkheads give some sort of structural integrity to the hull. So as you sound, you're actually going to hear where it's hollow, which is fine, and then where it's not hollow, which is where you typically have a bulkhead. What you don't want to hear is this. I'm going to put the camera down. So fiberglass is layered, right? In here, you basically have a layer of gel coat, and then below that gel coat, you have layers of fiberglass. That fiberglass, you can think about it as super dry pieces of like paper towel, and when the paper towel gets moist, it creates those soft spots. So I'm going to use the paper towel to simulate what you're going to hear if you do actually have soft spots. So this is no soft spots, and this is what you're going to typically hear. You hear that difference in crispness? Crispness? That's what you're looking out for. Now here's the thing. If you hear that difference in crispness in one of the areas of the hull, unfortunately you may have found a soft spot. It's best to confirm it with a professional, get a fiberglass professional to take a look at it, and unfortunately they may have to start doing some exploring. What I mean by exploring is literally shaving off layers until they find how deep the soft spot is. You cannot have soft spots on your hull because, number one, they indicate that at some point in time, maybe not right now, but at some point in time there was an intrusion of water. You have no idea how deep that intrusion of water got. And if you are taking yourself and your family out on the water, you want to make sure you identify how deep that water got at what point and how soft that hull is and at what areas. A couple of quick notes to finish off on. Hot spots that you want to look out for. Through hulls, especially through hulls that are below the waterline. So that's an example of a through hull. Here's actually a boat next to mine where the through hull is partially under that waterline. Those are hot spots. You definitely want to check around those spots. And then this test that I'm showing you is only the outer hull. I would still recommend opening up every single hatch, checking out the entirety of your bilge, and using an endoscope, which is a camera. It's on a long wire, it's a very long wire, and feeding that camera all over inside of the bilge. Try to spot the condition of those bulkheads, how much water is in the bilge, how long that water has been sitting, because that's the interior of your hull. This is just a test for the exterior of the hull. Many of those issues present on the exterior of the hull. If you have drainage issues, their issues might present on the interior of the hull. Remember, this is layered fiberglass. The issues can be on the outer layers or the inner layers. This is all outer layer test. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. In this series, I'm basically showing you guys the process of buying this 30-year-old boat, what goes right, what goes wrong, and being 100% transparent on every single dime that I spend on this thing. I'm trying to show folks that don't know anything about this world what it really takes to get out on the water. I appreciate you for watching this video. If you leave a comment, I will do my best to get back to you in that comment section. Thank you. All right, we're out of here. Till next time.